Shalom, shalom, and welcome. This is Quick Words, a series of messages regarding things to consider during end times. It is a message to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father and who has come to accept Yahusha as our Messiah, our Mashiach, Yahusha, the true name of our Messiah. It is a message to those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 and multitude mentioned in Revelations chapter 7 and 14. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and today is April 9th, 2014. This segment of Quick Words is entitled, Being Alone and Drawing Powers. My brothers and sisters, I will inform you up front that I have broken this message into two parts for the sake of easy listening for those on mobile devices. With that said, let me get started. We have entered into end times. There are those among us who are hungry for the truth and seek out righteous answers in order that we may worship and serve with precision the Almighty Father Yahuah through his sacrifice and resurrected Son and our Messiah Yahusha. There are many different beliefs, of which a large number appear to be centered around scriptures and or a representation of scriptures. We face a wide array of teachings, practices, behaviors of which all proclaim to be true. There is no doubt among those who are awake that end times are here. Individuals among us believe at some point there will be a final exodus, with others believing or expecting a spontaneous rapture, of which is erroneous teachings. Anyone looking around knows something phenomenal is about to take place. From the masses to believers, expectation of some form of deliverance is stirring among the masses, among the people. The non-believing community has begun echoing sentiments of the formation of a one-world government, and many of us know this will lead to the emergence of the anti-Messiah and false prophet, along with their beast system. Global leaders and scientific leaders have expressed concerns regarding the possibility of man's extinction, something that is gradually reflective of the conditions that are emerging. The sentiments of a one-world government are stirring, while many are asleep. The most alarming concerns is facing man is that almost every living creature will result in facing possible extinction within a matter of years due to the following conditions, which can be summed up under the auspice of global warming and or climate change from a practical perspective. Two major conditions that are affecting the entire condition of the planet. That is rising CO2 levels, along with increasing methane gas levels. They pose a threat to the very air that we breathe. And from a practical and natural perspective, they are causing extreme weather patterns, which will result in severe drought, which means fresh water shortages, which in turn will mean a reduction in or the disappearance of food as we know it. Disappearing food or food inventories, commonly referred to as famine, severe food shortage. We will witness prices spike, and then we will see the shelves of grocery stores empty. We will see restaurants closed and other eating institutions, cafeterias, and establishments will become barren or empty for lack of food. The process has begun, and it will reach epic proportions in the coming days. As for those of us who study scriptures, we have a different perspective on matters. We believe the scriptures are true and foretells of the emerging conditions. We believe the scriptures mention of drought, famine, pestilence, and disease. As I have mentioned earlier and in times past, there are those among us who believe there will be a final exodus. As end times begin to get intense, we are hearing the need to be united louder than before. We anticipate a gathering like man have never before witnessed. We believe there will be an appointed time where there will be a rise of the 144,000 and multitude mentioned in Revelations chapters 7 and 14. Given what I've presented, one of the most challenging times of our lives require us to make wise decisions, take on some tough choices. In order to be assured what has been written regarding the children of obedience, we will be required to make tough decisions. All that I've said and more have resulted in many individuals waiting. Some are waiting by being alone, and others are looking for drawing power. Some that are alone are looking for drawing power. Thus, this segment is entitled Being Alone and Drawing Power, to bring to mind the importance that sometimes we will be alone, but to be encouraged, there is a drawing power, a power of the Spirit of the Most High. Something of grave importance that we must consider is that there will be times of being alone, but there will indeed be a drawing power from the Most High during these end times. My brothers and sisters, we have faced influence of which strongly suggests the need to assemble or be in fellowship. We have witnessed wicked leaders, self-appointed teachers, mores, self-appointed and false pastors, shepherds, priests, and false prophets, strongly echoing the sentiments that you need to be in fellowship, that you should not be alone. People have fallen victim to these self-appointed leaders. They have even fallen into the snare of supporting the message of saying, do not forsake the assembly. You need to be in some assembly, some fellowship. Do we not have a living Savior that will guide us and bring us together? Do we not have an Almighty Father that will draw us together if we are indeed focused on Him? Yes, the time for falling victims and succumbing to the wiles of those who throw at you that they were quote unquote called into the ministry, along with very other flagrant phrases and sentences that are used in an effort to convince people that they are the chosen of the Most High. Soon we will see a rise in discernment in all who has been misleading. To those who are among the children of obedience, our eyes will be open, discernment will rise, we will understand what must be done. Yes, we witness to this day followers, supporters of all types of fellowships and assemblies, repeating the need to assemble. Some even throw scriptures out of context to expedite or support their promotion of their fellowship or a fellowship or the assembling together. I submit to you, the whole manner in which people have gone about pushing and developing fellowships and assemblies and camps has widely been wicked and out of order and filled with erroneous behaviors, teachings, and practice. Yeah, there are those who want to tell you you're not going to find a perfect church or a perfect fellowship, thus trying to dull your need or hunger to pursue righteousness. Beware of such. I want to also admit, given what I've said, there are those who have isolated themselves from camps and fellowships as well. Some who have taken a total different approach and have gone to an extreme by sticking their feet in a little bit of everyone's camp, by wandering to and fro, quote unquote, playing it safe and saying, I'm not a part of anyone's camp or fellowship, although their actions speak differently. Yes, my brothers and sisters, there are many strategies out there. There are many excuses floating. But allow me to present the following scriptures before I continue on with this message, or as I continue on with this message. On the matter of being alone, consider Eliyahu or Elijah, 1 Kings 19:9 and 10. And then I'm going to skip to verse 18, but I encourage you to read the entire 19th chapter of 1 Kings. But moving to verse 9 of the 19th chapter, again of 1 Kings, it reads as follows. And there he went into a cave and spent the night there. And see, the word of Yahuah came to him and said to him, what are you doing here, Eliyahu, or Elijah to some? And he said, I've been very jealous, Yahuah Elohim of hosts, for the children of Yahusha has forsaken your covenant. They have thrown down your altars. They have slain your prophets with the sword. And I am left, I alone, and they seek my life to take it. So here we see Elijah saying that he was all alone. But if you jump to verse 18 in that same chapter, 1 Kings 19th chapter, verse 18, we read, and I shall leave 7,000 in Yahusha, all whose knees have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth that have not kissed him. You see, my brothers and sisters, Elijah faced correction and was told that there are 7,000 who have not bowed their knees to Baal. John 6:43 and 44 reads, Then Yahusha answered and said to them, Do not grumble with one another. No one is able to come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I shall raise him up in the last day. Dropping to verse 65, 6th chapter still. He said, Because of this I have said to you that no one is able to come to me unless it has been given to him by my Father. And if you read John 12:32, it reads, And I, if I am lifted up from the earth, shall draw all men to myself. And moving to John 14:6 and 7, Yahusha said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would have known my Father too. From now on, you know him and have seen. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, pray on these scriptures, pray on these matters. For we are not alone. There is a drawing power. Through worship and obedience, we are lifting up Yahusha Mashiach. Through worship and obedience, through the power and might of the Almighty Father Yahuah, we will be drawn together and we will witness the coming together of a unified group that will be known as the children of obedience. I will pause here for part 1 and continue in a moment with part 2. Stay tuned as this message continues with part 2. Thank you. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.